133. Okay, I was about to say that's kind of not true, but then I didn't say anything because I was thinking about how I could be wrong, and not wrong, but like misinterpreting his actions in the sense that um he could mean it in like a different way. So I was like, that's technically not true, but I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That was weird, but okay, sure. What really? Wait, what? Transplanting one's organs is like transplanting one's flesh. Why? Is this like science or is like what is that even? It's why? Is this like ship thing where it's like I forget what the fuck it's called. It's like if your ship's damaged and you replace your ship over time, is it really the original ship? Is it like that type of thing? Or what does that mean? He's like, fuck. Whoa, I'm dumb. I just peeped this. He has like I was gonna say informants. That's not true. He has spies, kind of spies, kind of. He has people placed. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna kill him. Maybe like cut off his face. I'm gonna clear his hue, and you're gonna take over as him. Somebody that I've already cleared, you take over as him while I work on this guy, and then he's gonna work as somebody else. I mean, he's gonna like be somebody else. That's kind of crazy. I don't like that look in your eye. I don't know about this guy. Relax, buddy. Again, like I said, it's two options, right? And I don't know. That looked. I'm not gonna say admiration, but That looked like. I hate when people do this because everybody always brings him up, but like not like Hisoka, but like it was like a I enjoy watching you work type beat, but I still want to fuck you up. We'll see which one of those two options I mentioned before is true. Untraceable children. So I was wrong. It was inspectors. He shot an inspector, not an enforcer. Like you would assume that everybody knows about it, but I personally, I don't know how the fandom reacts to this, but I also assumed that of course you can judge an inspector with an enforcer. What are you, stupid? Of course you can. Why wouldn't you able to? Even when I mean, here we go again. Inspector, I meant. Did I just say enforcer? I don't know. But even when enforcers point their guns at inspectors, the only reason why they can't shoot is because they're an enforcer. That's it. That's it, and it's locked. That's the only reason. But if an inspector points their gun at another inspector, I would imagine it would still work. Maybe it'll give them a specific type of warning or a special warning, but I would imagine it would still work. But even then, even if it's on like some weird hierarchy shit, like enforcer to inspector, maybe inspector to inspector, the Sibyl categorizes them or like places them in different like roles of like the hierarchy. So like Akane would be above like Maki because of either she's literally under her or maybe Akane has just been on the force longer, like shit like that. Maybe it judges it off shit like that if there is like a hierarchy to it like the enforcer inspector relationship. But yeah. Oh, I'm so stupid. Of course, because if he has plants everywhere, why else would you collect it? He's not gonna dual wield. He's gonna give them to his limbs so he can use it effectively. Because why would you collect equipment that by yourself? We're not in a mono, right? Give it to your allies. Duh, that you've like cleared of a hue and created a code with, pretty much. Makes sense. Okay, but why? Um, sure. Because if you if you really again, who knows about Makishima? Nobody outside of the bureau ever talks about this man's. So it's like that's still kind of up in the air. I think. But I'm going with the assumption that generally everybody knows about it. Like if you look into it, you know. Like if you know, you know. But if you don't, and if you're like a quote unquote sheep or whatever, or if you just go through everyday life following the system, being a decent human being, just kind of chilling, then you wouldn't really peep it unless you're like into that shit, or like you have an edge to you, or your hue's fucked up, or you get into that space. Maybe you don't know about it, type of thing. But it's not really hidden information. Assuming that it's assume, fuck. Assuming that it's Jesus, assuming that it's that, um, which I don't think it is, but I haven't really decided on what it is specifically, but I have a thing, I have an idea that I like lean towards, regardless. But assuming that it's something akin to that, like kamui, that's what took Makishima down, kind of. It was just him by himself, and it was only him. Imagine if he had more people to play with. Imagine if he had more chips on the board, right? He'd be kind of cracked, no? Like more allies, more people to buffer getting to you. Like on some not like Yagami shit, but like you know, yeah, they can't, yeah, they can't recognize him, let alone judge him. Yeah. Mm. True. So I'm true. You're right. He's not. Yes. Makishima's asymptomatic. True. Kamui just literally just isn't recognized. That's such a slight difference, but it's asymptomatic versus it literally just doesn't recognize you at all. No, it's not slight at all. That's huge. That's actually really big. It doesn't recognize you at all versus like you're there. We see you. You're just not insane. That's really big actually. Damn, that makes him actually really unique. I think yeah, yeah, I think that may actually make him really unique. I remember last episode I talked about well, we all were, me and Akane and everybody, like Kamui gives off a weird vibe. He gives off a different vibe from Makishima. But then I also myself, separate from the show, I think, I also inputted I said something like Kamui, Makishima, and Akane are kind of all in the same general like boat, same bubble, but they're all very different, even within that bubble. They all have like similar traits, kind of, in the sense that like their hues are fucky and they just don't darken type beat, but that's through very different means. Makishima is just straight up asymptomatic, which I knew, but I think I just forgot. I wouldn't use I forgot it. Well, no, that's not true. I probably did forget. I don't know. It's just the way I'm thinking about how I was talking about him this whole time. I think I was just wrong, or like just slightly fucked on it. I don't know. Maybe not. I have to think about that more. But Makishima is asymptomatic. Kamui just doesn't. He just doesn't exist. He's just not recognized by the system, which is crazy. He basically just doesn't exist. And then Akane, we just don't know yet. The ball's still in the court, right? So it's just like all their hues, theoretically, they don't darken. Or it takes a lot for them to darken, or they just don't at all. Or they do, and it just doesn't show up for some reason. I feel like I can generally say that for everybody, I think. I think I can say that. And it's like they're all similar, but and they all have the general same effect, kind of. But yeah, it should, yeah, it's okay. Also, last episode, I mentioned something akin to like, why did he take the eye specifically? Or like, no, I didn't ask that. That's not true. Roll that back. I said something about, I said, can you just take any body part and it recognizes you, or does it have to be the hand specifically? Does it like do your fingerprint or thumbprint or something? And then I think I said something about the eye. Maybe that's why. I don't remember if they said anything about like the eye and the lenses of the eye and the dominator reading that. I think you can assume that it has something to do with the eye because it always shows that glow. It all, like I said, always, but it always shows that glow in the eye when it recognizes the user. You grab onto it, it's like okay, and then it goes to your eye, it does a little thingy, and then it's like okay, I recognize you. So yeah, I feel like even without them telling you, you can assume that. I just kind of never really thought about it. But maybe that's why. Maybe they all have like lenses on their eyes or like contact lenses for this shit. It's like one, you need the thumbprint maybe, or like to actually grab onto the thing. But then at the same time, it has to like recognize your specific retinal pattern of your eye or whatever. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's why he took it took Shisui's eye specifically, right? 8? Oh, okay, but they're just contacts though. Okay, revamping what I just said. Maybe it's not. They all have lenses in their eyes, or maybe the inspectors have lenses in their eye. Maybe it's when you touch it, it's like, okay, this is like the right fingerprints or whatever. But then through that, or like maybe fuck the fingerprints altogether, through touching it, it somehow recognizes your specific retinal eye pattern, and then it's like, okay, this is so and so, you have authority to use the dominator, blah blah blah. That's why Kamui took her eye to trick it. But then on top of that, he somehow, not somehow, when he took it out, when it was in that chamber or that bubble or whatever next to her face, I believe is where it was. In that time, he copied her retinal pattern, made lenses, contact lenses for it, and then gave it to his like spies or like his limbs or whatever. And through these simple contact lenses, you can trick the dominator into thinking that you're that other person, is what I'm thinking right now. Hmm. Exact. Doctor, that's what I said. I'm like, yo, Sibyl, you just gonna let this shit rock? Hello? That's what I said last episode or last two episodes, whatever. I'm like, bro, you just gonna let this shit rock? But again, I brought that up too, where from our third person point of view, I was like, so is it just doing it because it thinks that it's fun, or is it doing it because it literally just doesn't see this as a threat and it's like underestimating kamui maybe, or like these little pebbles in the road that may build up, like I said before too. First makishima, now kamui, where he's hitting your direct weakness. Next is gonna be a stronger person that's gonna fuck your whole shit up, and then you're gonna be looking stupid. Like I said, Akane said somebody's gonna come around eventually and fuck you up. Like, who said it's gonna be a quote unquote good person, right? Um, yeah, and her response to that was kind of interesting. She seems like the type to respond just like that though, where she's like, "Oh, is that a knock on the Sibyl?" And she doesn't really like hate it, or she doesn't like explicitly like, "That's bad. You should never do that," like maki or anything. Shimotsuki, but yeah, it's just her response fits her archetype that I have in my head of her. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. She was like, "Oh yeah, you doing that? Yeah." And he was like, "Hey man, it's just suspicion." And she was like, "That's kind of worse, but okay." And she gives you the side eye, like, "Cap." Mm, I don't know if I believe you or not. Maybe a little bit of both. Grandma, she's perfectly fine. Yeah. I was gonna say, you look exactly like her. She doesn't, slightly different, but I feel like it's like the eyes and like the bags next to her eyes specifically look a little bit like a kind of. Where are your parents? She's dying. I don't think so, but her placement in this is weird because we've only recently even known that she has a grandmother. Anyways, I think what this season, one, two, um, with the non-mention of her parents at every fucking step, I would imagine it's something like a kind of a, I think a Japanese, not Japanese, sorry, roll that back, like anime trope type of thing where it's like, oh yeah, my parents are deceased or they died or blah blah blah, and I was raised by my grandma, blah 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 blah. Um, I don't even want to say that's anime trope anymore because I'm just thinking about real life shit now, and I'm like, that's kind of, it's kind of not uncommon. That's not uncommon at all. Anyways, I'm thinking something happened to her parents. They died in front of her. She watched, and then like from that point onward, she was just kind of like, okay, and maybe she watched it and like she was like staring blankly at it. Typical anime trope bullshit, where it's like something terrible happens, and you're just like, as a kid, you're just staring, and you're like, yep, and then you kind of like anime internalize that shit. Um, yeah, maybe something like that. That's what my brain is like drifting towards. I don't even think anything specific or like definition, like definitively or anything. I'm just like talking out loud. But yeah. Um, thank you. Hello. So 37.8. Exactly. Fuck you. And it's crazy because Akane went straight to that, and I didn't even think about that. What I was thinking of was fucking like, this is the one rule you follow. Like, this is the one thing you go by. Everything else, I'm not. I guess that's kind of. I'm not trying to insinuate that they don't follow all the rules, but I'm just saying this is the one that you like focus on. That rubs me the wrong way, and I can't really tell you why right now. Like, I can just tell you that I'm like when she said that, I was just like, really, bro? This is the one thing you stand by? Yeah, I don't know. That made me feel. Yeah, I didn't like that. I was like, yeah, bro, come on now. Fuck off. Makishima literally, but he was asymptomatic, and that's a concept that they know about. So it's like, sure, but like if asymptomatic people exist, like I just okay. I would hope out of everybody, out of everything, the Sibyl would be able to be like, that may be possible. Like, okay, okay, whatever. It'd be one thing if they're asymptomatic, but no regularity can allow a person to bypass scans entirely. Okay, yeah, and this is what I was bringing up before when I was like, yeah, somebody was even. Am I just making this up? Because I looked it up and I couldn't find it. I could have sworn somebody like bypassed scanners before in the past. It was like once, and it was mentioned like once. It was in the very beginning of the series. I want to say maybe. I think it was before the factory, but I could be smoking crack. Like, and even if that was Makishima, and it was just like, he wasn't like bypassing them, but he just wasn't peeking the system, that's still kind of bypassing it. Kamui is just taking it to another level while literally doing that. Even if it was like hypothetically, if it was Makishima doing that and he was just asymptomatic, so it wasn't pinging on the system, even if that is the case, he was still kind of doing it. Like but Kamui is just literally doing it. Kogami, fuck me. Makishima was doing it. Byproduct of being asymptomatic. Kamui is just doing it by existing. Like, and even then, I could have sworn it was they were dodging cameras or some shit. Like, because the further you get out of the density of the city, the less cameras there are, so the less likely you are to get picked up. Type beat. I could have sworn it was something like that. I just, but even if I was wrong all up to this point, this is what I'm talking about. People, but we'll see how the Sibyl reacts to this later, because this is just true. Like, you're just like, I don't know what to tell you, man. And she's like, yeah, it's not possible. Fuck you. It's like, bro, what? You can't even entertain the idea. How many brains are connected to the Sibyl, and with how many like crazy thinkers there are, I would imagine, or like non-standard minds there are within you, you sure do have a weirdly like constrained. Is that the word? Whatever. You have a very narrow fucking view of this shit. You can't even just like entertain it. No, like that's just it's kind of like as many not free thinking, as many crazy brains you have attached to you. You sure are fucking stupid. Not stupid, but you know what I mean. Like, you're very conservative with your shit. And I don't mean conservative as in like political liberal conservative. I mean conservative as in like the literal word conservative with it. Like, you're very, it's weird. I guess that's kind of another flaw, no? Like, just kill him. Wow. Exactly. Mm, but why? Only because he can't be recognized? Yes, you can recognize and you can ping on the system, but him, you can't. So maybe you're scared? I don't doubt. Maybe I doubt that. Maybe I doubt that, but like, I don't know. Oh, he's gonna know immediately somebody was in his room. I don't trust Shimazuki to be stealthy at all. I think he's gonna immediately know. Yep. He's not stupid. It's so stupid. Right? Like, come on, man. Oh, wait, what? 18 years ago. At age 23? How old is this nigga? He's 41? Okay, now is this like cybernetics shit he looks young, or is this anime age he looks young? Right? Which one is this? Oh, wait. All the inspectors he works with became laden criminals and were executed by eliminators. Again, I assume that of course they would work on inspectors. Why didn't Kamui know? He's pretty smart. Why didn't he know? What does the public know? How much do they know? There have been cases of this in the past. Now this was covered up and this wasn't like let known to inspectors, so I would imagine, let alone anybody else. But like still, like unless they cover it up every single time an inspector was fucked up by an eliminator, like come on. Which is fair, you could totally do that, but like until proven, like I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm just gonna go back to the whole why didn't Kamui know? And what does the public know? Did Makishima know? Like, did he care? I don't know if he cared about that. I would think about that more. Yeah. Hold up, pull it back. Unless it's not they hid this from everybody, but they just didn't tell Division One, even though we were the ones taking this nigga in. But they just refrained from telling us that. But they knew about it, and possibly other people knew about it. But it's just like, okay, if we don't have any red flags in his backstory, why would we go looking for people to corroborate that or to like fill us in on him, right? And if every inspector that he's been with it's fucking dead, then it's like, okay, the only other people that we would be able to even like get stories from would be other enforcers. And it's like, okay, what other enforcers did he work with? But again, if he doesn't have any red flags, like why would we go looking for shit, right? But Akane did as much digging as she did, but there is no red flags like that. Who did it? Did the Sibyl do it? Obviously the Sibyl did it, but like, did they do it directly while assigning him? Because the Sibyl did ask Akane, "Hey, how's the new people?" And Akane was like, "Yeah, they're good." Blah 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 blah, whatever. So maybe that implies, or I would say that kind of implies that the Sibyl assigned personally new people to her, right? That kind of implies that it wasn't a yeah, we both like Sybil picked them out, then I chose from that batch. No, it was a I sent them your way. How do you like them? And she was like, yeah, they're cool, right? Was it the Sybil directly, or was it like some shit happened? The Sybil was like, okay, from afar, shut that shit down, hide that shit, and then years later, the Sybil was just like, I'll put you on the team, I guess, and it was already hidden. Or did the Sybil hide it specifically for the purpose of this, like directly to Akane, rather than like it happened way before, and now the Sybil is just like, oh, you came up again, I'll give you to her, I guess. And there's just like another like tool in there that they were like, oh yeah, I forgot I had this. I'll throw that in there, I guess. Or was he directly like, was it like directly for her and like everybody else knows, or like the other, not everybody else, but like the enforcers that were on the team knows, and they're like still around or whatever. Um, if that made any sense. Yeah. Like, was it a direct response to akane? And everybody, not everybody generally knows, but it's not like hidden, but it's just like not everybody knows it, but it's not hidden. And the Sibyl was like, here, take him, and she just didn't tell us about it. Or was it like a, yeah, this happened years ago, I handled it then, I kind of buried it, and then years later, Akane was like, I need new people, and she was like, okay, I'll throw him in with a lot type beat. Stop, stop making it obvious. She's the next target. Fuck Akane, she's a hard nut to crack. While I'm waiting for her, I'll get this bitch right here. You're done. You're done, Shimotsuki. You're done. That's a new path to your character now. Getting fucked by Togane and outing him. Oh, he killed himself. Nice. It's a code, bro. He's smart as fuck. And I was gonna mention it before during the eye transplant body swapping bullshit talk earlier, but like I was gonna say he has to be smart to transplant a fucking eye by himself on himself from another person in the first place. But I did. The reason why I didn't say anything is because I was like, okay, this is like future tech, and I don't know how far ahead they are in tech to like to make that like how easy or how not easy that would be. So I didn't say anything because that could easily be like attributed to like, yeah, he's pretty smart, or he's like way above average, but also like the tech is kind of stupid. So it's like, of course you can do that, right? So I didn't know how that scaled, so I didn't say anything. But like, yeah, he's smart as fuck. Like, I never really wanted to say he was that smart because it was kind of they didn't really give us any feats or anything, but it's kind of implied a lot. But I'm like, okay, but I don't know for sure. Like tech versus common knowledge in this day and age with that tech versus how smart he is by himself, right? Like if you would strip all the new age tech away, how would he do? And like leave the stuff like the dominators or the Sibyl intact or like the scanners, like shit that doesn't really like enhance everyday life, but that controls or whatever, shit like that. If you were to leave stuff like that around, like how would he do? Like I didn't know how to, adjust for that, so I just didn't say anything. But yeah, like I said, he's smart as fuck. And this is just another area he's either that he could be. It's another area that he could be smart in, or this is his primary area, and I'm right or misreading how good he is at like body modification or like eye transplantation and like shit that has to do around that. How knowledgeable he is at that. Like he just like a all rounder, or is he just like does he hard spec in the specific fields? And I'm misreading the eye transplant shit because like I said before, tech blah 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 blah. And this is like his primary thing. I don't know yet, but ooh, Shimotsuki. Yeah, because I was just thinking I was like, why didn't you say anything? Shimotsuki, you slipping, bro. What are we doing? It was a spiral. Okay. Oh my goodness. Why didn't you report it verbally? Bitch, why don't you check your emails? Hello? Fuck do you mean? And then instead of and again, instead of her taking responsibility, she's acting like a fucking child. It's your fault. You didn't do it properly. It's like, bro, one, what does that even mean? Unless it's literal protocol in the book, which I don't think we know about. It's like fuck you. There is no proper way. But even if that is the case, again, I'm gonna place. I'm not gonna say more blame on you, But I will say that you have the responsibility as a leader to understand the people that you're working with as the fucking leader, understand their strengths and weaknesses, understand how they communicate, understand where they're most comfortable and where they have like problems at, socially or otherwise, and understand the personality of the fucking person. This nigga Hinokawa is obviously like socially like shy. He's obviously like meek and shit. Like, why would just check your email, my nigga? Like, why wouldn't you be doing that in the first place? Check your transmission. What the fuck are you doing? Why wouldn't you just do that anyways? And then she talks about, oh, it's all gonna be on us if we fuck up, and you're still not taking responsibility of the leader that you want to be. It's not like she's just vibing. Even still, I'd be kind of hard on her, but I don't think maybe I wouldn't. I don't even necessarily believe this, but maybe possibly I wouldn't be as hard on her if she wasn't acting all big as fuck, shitting on Akane in her head, acting all big and acting like she's supposed to be the leader. It's like, oh, why does Akane get special treatment? Blah 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 blah. All about fucking up, doing stupid ass mistakes, and not even living up to the leader that you want to be or that you see other people as, or like get the special treatment that you want that you think Akane gets, or what blah, blah, blah. You're not even living up to your own hype, pretty much, and you're not even like living up to the standard to get you the special treatment that you think Akane gets for yourself. And you're steady bitching and complaining and like obfuscating and diverting and fucking just, you're just not even, okay. You didn't do it properly. It's like, bro, even if that is the case, look at him. He's in his bag. Check your fucking emails. Like, I don't know what the fuck, check your transmission. I don't know what the fuck I tell you. Here goes the spiral. Um, 15, 18, not that big of a difference. He became an enforcer 18 years ago. 15 years ago was the plane incident when he started setting up this whole shit, I would imagine. 3 years is a long time. It's not that long, but it's a man. How long has Akane been inspector? Like 2 years? A year or two at this point, depending on the time skip. Maybe 3. I'm gonna say around like 2, maybe. I think it's 2 actually. I feel like I think I think I looked it up in between because we haven't gotten to defend it. I think I looked it up at some point, or maybe I like saw it by proxy. I think it was like 2 years and some change, but like it's been like what 2 years at minimum. 3 years if it happens as quick as this. 3 years can be a whole arc, 2. 202. Kamui. So he was a part of a plane crash. He survived. Then what? Really? Right. 25.4. Was that like light emerald green? She didn't do this explicitly. After she kind of shamed him and like pinned it on him, made him feel bad, Akane understands the assignment. Positive reinforcement. It's not that fucking hard. Just understand who you're talking to. Shh, he can handle it. Leader. Leader. That's a leader, okay? This feels like one of those. And it feels like a St. John student, and he's like, "Thank you for all your help. Yeah, I got you." And then he dies, or he gets arrested, or something. Feels like one of those. It feels like it. Okay, again, this isn't like me being definitive, but this is just when my brain is wandering, and if I had to articulate it, this is what I would say, type of thing again. This feels like he was in a plane crash. Something happened either during or after the plane crash that made him feel a certain type of way, or maybe he was always like from the beginning. Doesn't matter. Plane crash happened. Kamui had to get surgery. Surgery happened. Maybe they got close or something. Um, Maybe as he was in the hospital recovering or something because he was so young. The doctor noticed something in him. They got closer, or maybe then they got close. Kamui developed. Maybe the doctor like not fostered him, but like took care of him as like a maybe a father figure. But you can throw that out entirely. Either way, the doctor like oversaw him or like kept like after him, like looked after him, like not looked after him. That's too strong a word. Like kept his eye on him. Kamui developed, somehow helped the doctor in some way, maybe cleared him or something, or showed him some shit. The doctor's grateful, and now we skipped to here where he's like, "I should be thanking you," blah 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 blah. And like, thank you for all the help. Yeah, and then they hang up, and now he's going to quote unquote die or get arrested or whatever. Maybe the doctor's wife got fucked up or something. I don't know. Oh, he's just straight up. He's just like, yeah, fuck it. Okay. Gospel, huh? Are you? You just grow up, bro. Just grow up, bro. I'm just grow up. Grow up, bro. I'm mad. What the hell? Wait. Looking for Yayoi? My nigga really said I need to stay up. I'm taking drugs. Fuck it. Insomniac. I don't know why I said that. And then it's crazy because I'm not getting off this. As soon as she's looking for Yayoi, and then we hard cut to them fucking again. We haven't focused on that since that one time, that one episode. And maybe that one standalone episode Yayoi got because she was gay for the other bitch. Like, we haven't gotten that at any point in time ever, except the beginning, the Yayoi episode, and then now we see them fucking on screen. You can't tell me it's either admiration or she loves her or she likes her or she wants to fuck or something. Shimotsuki, you're done. The only thing when she's gonna get fucked from the Yayoi side when Yayoi is just like you're just like a little sister to be relaxed, or like she finds out that Yayoi and the Kuro the blonde girl are fucking. She might get heartbroken for that. Togane might mind fuck her. The whole Akane and her butting heads thing when maybe Shimotsuki finds out that she's wrong or starts to doubt herself or admits to herself that she's just trash in comparison to Akane and Akane was right the whole time. Like her childishness and her pettiness to everybody and around her and her refusal to take responsibility on responsibility, her whole two other blunders that she's had before, including the small one that happened this episode, all that shit might come crashing down on her. She can get fucked. This might be the next target for Togane. Like, bro, you're just a weak link. Like you might need to be excised or you might get fucked over. But like even the Sibyl itself was like, you're gonna get fucking eaten alive. Interesting. Togane might really be it. Maybe it really is what I said before. He somehow got into contact with Kamui and he's like just one of his limbs or something. Or like he's his own being, more or less. He's not like a spy or anything. He really is Togane, but he's he's like the second hand man, right hand man, not second hand man, but like he's like a special person within the group. Like maybe he ran into Kamui at some point. And passed out on the spot. A real ass nigga. Real ass nigga. Good job, show. Good job. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Really? I think I was like, yo, that nigga gives me weird vibes. Like the instant I saw him and walked into the room, the way he was looking, I was like, his nigga is weird. I don't know about this guy. Ah. All of them. Wait, what? Oh, I'm dumb. No, no. I totally misread that. No, what they mean is that he's always had plants next to us. He's always been by us the whole time. He's had informants around us this whole time. Like that's what they mean. My bad. Okay. I misread that shit. Is there anything else I want to say? Not really. Um yeah, not really. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get that.